Ancient wisdom teaches us that adaptability is a sign of intelligence, while steadfastness reflects true wisdom. You may have countless strategies at your disposal, but I stand by one fundamental principle. This saying highlights the contrast between flexible tactics and unwavering rules. It emphasizes that even if an opponent has numerous clever plans, we can rely on our solid, unchanging principles in real-life situations. In essence, while others may employ various tricks, having a core principle that remains steadfast can be a crucial strategy for maintaining stability and achieving long-term success. Life is unpredictable, and you might not always outsmart others, as there will always be people who are smarter or stronger than you. The key isn't to overcomplicate things, it's about persistently adhering to your values and following the path meant for you. You might discover that this straightforward approach leads you directly to success. In both personal and professional realms, it's essential to establish guiding principles for yourself. The ancient saying encapsulates two vital aspects of life: flexibility and steadfastness. Being adaptable signifies intelligence and the ability to seize new opportunities for growth, which requires creativity and a keen awareness of your surroundings. Continuously striving for improvement is essential. However, true wisdom lies in recognizing when not to change. There are core values that must be safeguarded against external pressures and circumstances. Wisdom involves the ability to discern between what can be altered and what should remain steadfast to ensure stability and sustainability in life. Intelligent individuals are adaptable and resourceful. They know when to seize opportunities and when to steer clear of dangers. They flow like rainwater, moving in various directions without a fixed path, allowing them to easily adjust to any situation. In contrast, those who are resolute stick to a specific path, remaining focused and undistracted. This is akin to water flowing from a steady source, merging into a powerful current that can travel far and make a significant impact. One of the greatest threats in business is falling victim to scams and deceit. No matter how cautious one may be, it's easy to get trapped. However, individuals with strong principles can minimize risk significantly. Take, for instance, the story of Wang Xiangqing, a businessman from Shaanxi during the Qing dynasty. He founded the Daithingui brand after starting as an assistant and later partnering with a college friend. After overcoming numerous challenges, he established his company in Tsui, now part of the autonomous region of Inner Mongolia. In the business world, selling subpar goods at inflated prices is unfortunately common, but vigilance is key to avoiding pitfalls. The risk of purchasing low-quality goods at inflated prices is a real concern, which is why TNG has implemented a unique buying strategy for starting a business can be quite daunting, especially when faced with irrational competition. Tactics like slashing prices to factory levels often spark fierce rivalries, pulling you into the fray even if you didn't intend to compete. However, by adhering to certain principles, you can maintain your footing in today's market. Price wars are common, and surprisingly, the strongest competitor doesn't always emerge victorious. Companies that focus on reasonable costs and profits tend to thrive longer, as they prioritize ethical practices. One of the biggest challenges is resisting the allure of quick gains. Once you compromise your integrity, it can be difficult to regain a clean reputation. This is why it's crucial to uphold your values. Historical accounts tell us about Feng Kang, a renowned official during the Ming Dynasty, who was celebrated for his fairness and integrity. His subordinates held him in high regard. During his tenure as the Minister of Justice in Hunan, he visited a district to assess its performance. The local magistrate, fearing exposure for corrupt practices, contemplated bribing Feng Kang for leniency. Unsure if Feng would accept, he devised a clever plan. He fashioned silver into the shape of a candle, wrapped it in paper, and presented it as a gift for Feng to light up his office. Unbeknownst to Feng, the candle had ulterior motives. A keen servant noticed something unusual about the gift and alerted Feng. In response, Feng playfully suggested they test the candle by lighting it. The servant chuckled, thinking it was just a joke. In life, there's no way to burn money, and Fong Khnh calmly remarked that a candle that can't be lit is of no use. He suggested returning any gifts to the giver. The next day, he called in the district chief and told him that the candle he had given was useless for lighting. He asked why the chief didn't exchange it for one that could actually illuminate. Fong Khnh's steadfastness made the chief uneasy. Fearing he couldn't be bribed, the chief fled his post that very day. How many officials have fallen prey to wealth, beauty, or power, becoming mere puppets controlled by others? Fong Khnh stood firm because he adhered to a principle: never take what isn't yours. This principle helped him resist temptation, avoiding greed for things that didn't belong to him while maintaining his moral integrity. As the saying goes, a tall wall with no desires stands firm. Everyone has desires, but the key is to manage them within the bounds of law and ethics. No matter what schemes others might employ, they can't shake your resolve. Like a towering cliff, you remain unyielding, able to keep your conscience clear and your spirit at peace. The phrase "no desires," thus firm, comes from Confucian texts, where it's noted that true strength comes from managing one's desires. In essence, if someone is overwhelmed by wants, how can they exhibit true resolve? To maintain a sense of consistency, one must recognize that if desires are abundant, it becomes difficult to remain steadfast. Conversely, when desires are minimal, it's easier to find inner strength. Desire isn't just about what we want, both good and bad, but rather reflects our internal responses to the world around us. There's an old story about a temple where the wind rustles the flag. The young monk claims it's the wind moving, while a layperson insists it's the flag that's swaying. However, the wise old monk points out that it's actually the mind that is stirred. This illustrates that regardless of whether it's the wind or the flag in motion, the true action lies within our hearts. When our minds are agitated, desires naturally arise. As long as we can perceive the external world and react to it, consciousness emerges, leading to the birth of desire. Ultimately, desire stems from human awareness. Therefore, as long as we exist and experience life, we cannot escape desire. Perhaps only beings akin to plants, who are unaware of temperature or hunger, might be devoid of such feelings. Yet, without care from others, they wouldn't survive either. In essence, the most absolute truth is that nothing is truly absolute, thus, humans cannot be entirely free from desire. Here, absence of desire should be understood as merely a reduction. Even at its lowest point, it remains significantly present, almost negligible, like an infinitesimal quantity in mathematical terms. For ordinary people, this means approaching situations with calmness and going with the flow. This resilience isn't about being rigid, instead, it signifies confidence in oneself. Confidence and a strong work ethic allow us to navigate challenges with ease, making it simpler to reach our goals and move closer to success. The idea of no desire leads to restraint suggests that when faced with situations, we shouldn't dwell on the past or overthink the consequences. Instead, we should let things unfold naturally, keeping a light-hearted attitude toward life. By not fixating on outcomes, we free ourselves from unnecessary burdens, enabling us to see situations more clearly and grasp the truth behind them, ultimately paving the way for greater success. The writer Lu Xun once shared an experience where he struggled to perfect a piece of writing. After many revisions, he decided to set it aside for a while. When he revisited it later, he had a fresh perspective, which helped him make better decisions. On a personal level, we often find ourselves longing for things we can't have right away, leading to feelings of regret, like wanting a favorite item but being unable to buy it immediately. In such moments, if we can pause and approach the situation with a cooler head, we might look back later and appreciate our restraint, realizing we dodged a bullet by avoiding impulsive purchases that we may never use. In the grand scheme of life, we encounter numerous experiences, yet we also face many losses. This is because human existence is finite, and it's essential to recognize that every choice shapes our journey. Desires are limitless. While you admire others, they might be thinking how wonderful it would be to be like you. The concept of Wu Yu, Zigong, a state of self-restraint and purity, is an ideal for us ordinary folks. Although we may not reach this lofty state, we can strive for a more balanced existence. When tackling any task, try to clear your mind of distractions. This way, you can approach challenges with clarity and fairness, making you less susceptible to outside influences. In ancient Greece, Plato envisioned an ideal society built on fairness, equality, and division of labor based on individual abilities. He believed that such a society should be led by the wisest among us, aiming to create a just and happy community. This raises a timeless question: are we truly living in pursuit of such an ideal? In today's world, many seem to adopt a hedonistic lifestyle, focused on enjoyment. But if we take a step back, are we genuinely savoring life? Often, we find ourselves swayed by external pressures, like a lonely ship adrift on a vast ocean, lacking direction. Humans are born with insatiable desires, constantly yearning for more. While Wu Yu Zigong remains a noble aspiration, the sadness of life often lies in our inability to break free from numerous constraints. Even if one day we manage to soar above them, the journey remains fraught with challenges. Breaking free from these constraints, we often realize that we are no longer the same person we once were. What has been lost cannot be reclaimed. The concept of desirelessness leads to strength represents an ideal state where individuals are not swayed by their cravings, allowing them to cultivate confidence and determination for success. However, in reality, complete desirelessness is unattainable. The key lies in recognizing our desires, learning to manage them, and ensuring they don't dominate our lives. When we achieve this balance, we can lead a more autonomous, peaceful, and fulfilling life. Dear friends, principles and strategies often symbolize two extremes in life: steadfastness and adaptability. While strategies may involve temporary tactics that shift with circumstances, principles stand as solid rules unaffected by external changes. An ancient saying goes, "You may have thousands of strategies, but I have one principle," highlighting the contrast between fleeting tactics and enduring core values. The philosophy of desirelessness leads to strength, inspired by Confucius, encourages us not to be ruled by personal cravings but instead to maintain our resolve and self-assurance. This doesn't mean we should completely eliminate desires, rather, we must learn to control them and prevent them from influencing our actions and decisions. In the face of others' schemes and strategies, adhering to our personal principles can help us resist temptations and sustain long-term stability. Thus, blending flexibility with steadfastness is crucial in life. We need to be fully aware of this balance. Knowing when to adapt to circumstances and when to stand firm on principles is crucial for maintaining autonomy and wisdom. True wisdom doesn't lie in pursuing complex schemes, rather, it's about safeguarding core values that lead to lasting success and happiness. We'd like to wrap up our discussion here. Thank you all for taking the time to listen. Wishing you and your families endless joy, success, and peace in life. We sincerely appreciate your attention and look forward to seeing you again soon.